What new? So we're going to talk about you today. Now that wave of the recession, the meltdown will crush those who are the most rigid. Okay, so let's come to the topic of today. We were previously in a lockdown situation, in quarantine mode. And for some of you who are listening to me abroad, you probably still are in a lockdown situation. And now slowly the world is moving where we are getting back to work. And I know a lot of business owners are waiting right now and are asking about what are our government doing, stimulus packages. A lot of government are proposing different things. We are in a sort of wait and see mode. I talk and I see a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs like being on the fence and not really moving forward in this situation we are in. We sort of seem to have been caught up in the media surge that we saw when we talk about COVID. The situation is bad and we think everything is bad, so I'll be sitting. So in today's episode, I'm going to do two things. One is to address that, should we be on the fence? And second, how to move forward. What new? So we're going to talk about you today. With the first episode today, we're going to talk about you, how to be a more empowered business owner. So one tip about how to do that. So let me tell you something. Most of the businesses that you know, that you have probably used their services, a lot of them were created or saw substantial growth during recession and when the economy is bad. Let me just give you some examples quickly. You know Airbnb. Airbnb has changed the whole landscape about tourism and how hotels are being booked, etc. So Airbnb was created in a recession. The Disney was created in a recession. Most of you who are the younger generation here, you know about Electronic Arts. Okay, probably you know it about EA Games, right? Those who does that company who does FIFA and all of that, all the computer games. They were created in a recession. FedEx was created in the Big Depression. Even WhatsApp, the one that every one of us use, WhatsApp on our phone, it was created during the last financial meltdown by five former Yahoo exec who left the job and they went and invested in WhatsApp. And today, and WhatsApp was sold after a few years for an astronomical number of, I think if my memory is still good, it was around $15 billion. So what's the point here? So the point is simple here. Is during a recession, it's not time to be on the fence. A recession is the time for you, is actually the break for you to reinvent yourself. Because a cycle is being completed, but a new cycle is starting. So you're just reinventing yourself. And those who are able to work and to reinvent themselves, they are the one who will benefit most from this recession and will grow afterwards. Because after the recession, a lot of things that we think we knew, they're going to change. People who had 10, 15, 20 years of experience, when it comes to, for example, e-commerce, you could have had 20 years of experience of selling face-to-face. But now, when you're having to adopt e-commerce, your experience is very similar to a new guy just graduated, the fresh graduate, probably the fresh graduate knows more than you. So it's a new time. You've got to learn to upgrade and to adapt to it. It's not the time to be on the fence. It's the time to go and to move forward. And by the way, I'm just announcing that right now, but you will hear more about it in the future. That in around 10 days time, so let me just check my calendar. It's on the Monday, the 15th of June. We at Embers here, we are launching a 5-day Beat Recession Business Growth Challenge. So what it is, over 5 days, you join the challenge. Over 5 days, we're going to look at part of your business. So your product, your packaging, your promotion, how you're selling, and how you take just one bite of it, probably one product, how we can repackage it. And the challenge is within 5 days, you should be making sales and growing your business. So watch out for it. And if you want to join it premiere, so you want to get to know about it first, comment below or inbox us and we'll keep you in the loop. So this is going to be 5 days where every day I'll be live with you and I'll be sharing with you what you can do. We're going to take about one topic every day so that so that you can reinvent at least the selling part of your business, and you can sell and you can grow your business. So that's something that you should look out for and join the 5-day challenge that we are having. Okay, so we have already covered about the lockdown is not the time to be on the fence. So what should the business owner, or what skills do you need to add to your CV? You know, I think it's on LinkedIn where you can go down and scroll and everybody can rate you, it can mark you for the skills that you have. Actually, I'm going to say to add one more skill to your list. And the day you see yourself that skill topped on your list, then that day you have made a lot of progress. And that's called vulnerability. In this day and age that we are now, where we don't know what's coming next, where we can't predict, all the prediction of all those gurus that were out there has fallen on their face. So when you're in a tough situation like this, when the world is changing at a fast rate, there is need to be and to evoke the skill of vulnerability. Vulnerable leadership is what we need today. A vulnerable business owner will be much more stronger than a typical archaic, egoistic business owner that we used to have in the past. And if you want to read or to learn more about vulnerable leadership, there's a very interesting research that Brené Brown did. So you can just go on YouTube and tap Brené Brown and you will hear her TED Talk. Very, very like in millions of views TED Talk that she did on vulnerability. And also there's a CEO in India, I forgot her name, but the topic of her talk was the girl with the broken neck, with thousands of views as well. And she's explained to it how being vulnerable, accepting vulnerability has helped her grow and move forward. So I'm going to share with you today 3 aspects of vulnerability that is needed in business today so that you can grow yourself, and which will grow your team and your business, because the ripple effect is down there. The number one thing is, as business owners, and I know some of you who will be listening to that say, it's not for me. I'm not like this. But trust me, whatever I'm going to tell you, just take it down and listen to it and just try to apply it and see the difference for yourself. If it works for you, apply it. If not, just put it on the side. The number one thing that we as business owners need to learn to say is, I don't know. We should not feel ashamed to say, I don't know. If we keep saying, I know to everything, the thing is we stop learning. We become the bottleneck because we have stopped growing and we are not able to leverage and to, we can say, capitalize on the assets that we have in our company, the youth that we have around us. And trust me, in some situation, they know much more. But if we don't use the mantra of I don't know, you never learn. Because whenever you say I know, your brain says, oh, you know about it, so I don't need to learn more. And you stop growing and you stop learning. So I don't know is a powerful tool that you can have and you can use when you're in business. And many situations will come when your employees will be telling you, what should we do? How will the market be in 6 months? Just say, I don't know. By you saying, I don't know, sometimes we think, but they will think I'm an idiot. Actually, what happens is it's the contrary. They feel connected to you because you are not the boss that always tell, but you're the boss that listen. And you want to listen to all of them. When in your meetings, when you say, I don't know, is you encourage them to speak. Because remember, some of the time your employees have this barrier. They think, well, if I speak too much, I don't know if my boss will like what I'll say. But when you lead with vulnerability, you allow them to be vulnerable as well, which is the second point. You allow them to be vulnerable as well. And when they are vulnerable, they can take the risk of saying things that is new that you haven't heard of. Your employees right now have so many ideas that you can implement in your business to grow your business, but they are not sharing it with you because they don't know how you react, because they think you know it all. So if you want to tap into that power, you want to tap into that resource that they have from the experience they had dealing with people, going through the lockdown, dealing with the customers, is you have to lead first and they will follow you. So by leading first with vulnerability, by saying, I don't know, your team would have this freedom, this space to say, okay, so it's okay if I say something, even if what I'm saying is not 100% right, but I'll be listened to and I'll not be mocked down. Because we are all learning, we are all human, and we are in this together. So I don't know is the first one. The second one is make your team be in this safe environment where they can feel okay to share with you and they can be vulnerable as well. Number 3 tip that I'll share with you in terms of vulnerable leadership is it's okay to make mistake. Admit it and move forward. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. And trust me, I was surprised. When I learned in businesses how much time and effort is spent by employees, by people that you recruit and you pay to cover up for their mistake. Actually, it's not cover up, to hide their mistake. And in this situation that you are in, you cannot afford that. You have to be with them and have them to have their full energy and focus, not on covering their backs, but on moving forward. This is what this time that we are in requires. And for you to get that, you need to be able to make them understand it's okay to make mistake. The only rule to make mistake is to learn from the mistake. So something happened, even if you made the mistake, it's admit it and teach them how to move forward with it. So be brave enough to accept your mistakes in front of your employees, to accept that you were wrong there. Because if we are going to be in business nowadays with this egoistic approach, with I know everything, I don't make a mistake, what I say is the final word. Trust me, the wave that we are in right now, that wave of the recession, the meltdown, will crush those who are the most rigid. And with that weak, and people call that ego, but that's a weak ego. If you make a mistake and you can't admit it, then you are weak inside, because only the brave and the strongest can live and can say that mistake, I've made it, but that mistake is not me. I'm more than that mistake. I have much more to offer. I can learn from it. These are just opportunities. So 3 things I shared with you today, which you can do. Actually, 4 things. We started by saying it's not the time to be on the fence. It's the time to work on yourself inside and go out there and make a difference and reinvent your business. And to help you with that, we have the 5-day challenge, which is starting on the 15th of June. Join that. It's going to be a private group where we're going to go 5 days. Every day, we're going to look in more detail at one thing that you can do to move the needle or to go from the red to the green in terms of numbers. Secondly, in terms of vulnerable leadership, adopt the I don't know principle, that you don't know everything and you continuously need to learn. And I think it was Stephen Covey in his book, he calls this the seven habits of highly effective people. In the 7th habit, he calls it sharpening your saw, that you continuously learn, and you cannot continuously learn and develop yourself if you think you know it all. So I don't know is your tool, is your key. And secondly, make your employees feel safe to be vulnerable in your business, because that will tap into their inner potential that you haven't tapped yet. And number 3, it's when mistake happen, admit it and move forward. Because in this economy that we are in, you will make a lot of mistake. I make a lot of mistake, because we don't know what will happen. Some decision that I'm taking today will be redundant tomorrow. Probably the budget will announce something today, and whatever I'm deciding today is going to be redundant tomorrow. Admit it and move forward. So that's the 3 things I like to share that with you. And for me, myself, as you see with Business Bites that I'm launching today, I have put sort of myself in a vulnerable position. And that's my way. Post the lockdown, I've decided that I should embrace vulnerability. And this is why you're seeing me in live right now. I'm sharing my insights. I will also share my successes, what has worked for me. I will also share things that didn't work for me. Some deals that we've made, some clients that we've made that was not profitable or that ended up very bad. I'll share those experiences as well with you. It's about sharing the authentic and the real stories that I have experienced. That's why it's sharing the insights with you, so that you don't make it and we can all learn and grow from it. So that's my challenge for me, how I am adding vulnerability more on my list. And I will share with you how this is helping me as well. So this is what I want you to do. Listening to this podcast or this show today, it's not just about listening, but taking action. So right now, take your phone and write down 2 or 3 things, actions that you will take to be more vulnerable. Whether it's about your mistake, you will admit it, whether it's mistake that you've done in the past or a couple of days before that you can still go and say, okay, I was wrong there. What can we do now? And look for 3 things, actions that you can do to show your vulnerability, that to let people know that you are a human being and you are vulnerable. Vulnerability will be your strength. All right, guys. So that was it from Business Bites for today. Like this show, like this page, comment below. And if you have any question, you can just use the hashtag BusinessBitesQ, so Business Bite question, and just type your question. We will have special sessions just for your questions. So just write it down and we'll get back to you. Also, like our YouTube page, YouTube channel, and see you next week for another episode of Business Bites. And with that, I wish you all the best and the success in the coming week.